introduce herself and do a little bit of trivia.
Hi, my name is Farah and I'm from Egypt and I'm 11. And actually, we're going to do some trivia now. And let's start with the first question.
All right, wrong slide. There you go.
Hello, everyone.
Hi. So look, first, I'm going to ask you, how many degrees has the Earth increased in the last 50 years? 0.55, 6.5, 2.7, or 15? Write your answers in the chat.
But how?
You'll see a chat.
Hey, I'm seeing lots on the chat.
A's.
No, stop.
I'm seeing some A's and B's, but can you please actually write the letter, not the number of the degrees, so it can be easier?
You're getting lots of different answers for this one. I think it was a tricky question.
Very different. Once everybody has been done, tell me, okay?
I think I will go for the B. I don't know why, but I'll
6.5 degrees. Yeah, that one's kind of calling to me a little bit as well. I mean, I will say we are a little bit, we might be cheating a little bit because we've been doing a lot of work on climate for the last few days. So we might know a little bit better. All right, Farah, are we ready to give them the answer, do you think?
Yeah. So next slide, please. 0.55 degrees.
Option number A, 0.55 degrees Celsius.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, and you had a fact about this one, Farah?
Oh, yes. Did you know that if the Earth increases by 3 degrees, if it gets warmer by 3 degrees, it could kill 50% of all the insects?
That's scary. I do love insects.
Next question. Which gas is causing climate change? A, oxygen, B, the smell of food, C, carbon dioxide, D, nitrogen.
Carbon dioxide.
Right in the chat. Your answer in the chat.
To our friends joining, we need to remember this.
Carbon dioxide.
And we are just typing our answers.
Carbon dioxide. Nitrogen.
To our students joining us.
Carbon dioxide.
Stay muted. And we're typing our answers.
Carbon dioxide.
Carbon dioxide.
Carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide.
Answer to this one.
Request the students of Delhi Public School, Bangalore East to mute yourself. And if there is anything, please do put it up in the chat box or please raise your hands and wait for the host to answer. I again repeat, this is myself, Rupa Mallikarjunaya. Request all the student representatives of Delhi Public School, Bangalore East to please raise your hands and then let the host respond to you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Has everybody answered?
So we just want to remind everyone too that it is not polite to draw on our screen. Okay, that's the slides that our students worked really hard on making. So if you're drawing on our screen, you're just going over all of their hard work. Okay, so we'll call on one of you to answer. So Sangeetha, if you want to let us know what you think it is.
Sorry, it was a mistake from my part. Nothing to do.
No? Okay, how about Anoj?
I would say carbon dioxide, option C.
Oh, friends, so just I'm asking you not to draw on the screen. So students, if we see that you're the one that's drawing on the screen, we're gonna have to ask you to leave the chat. So Jayot Sana, we're gonna have to ask you to leave the meeting. So we're actually gonna put you in the waiting room if I see your name pop up on the screen. So we can actually see who's drawing on the screen, right? So all of our students put our hard work into making these slides for you. So if we're drawing on them, that's getting rid of all of their hard work that they've been doing on here, okay? So I can see your names, so please do not draw on our slides. Thank you. Okay. Answer? There you go. Go ahead, Farah.
The answer was carbon dioxide. If you answered the smell of food, then go eat something because you're probably very hungry. Did you know that actually carbon dioxide is the gas that you breathe out and it's what plants breathe in? When you breathe out, you exhale, you're breathing out carbon dioxide. And plants breathe that in. Okay, next question. Okay, next question. What is the largest contributor to carbon emissions? A, burning coal, B, methane, C, agricultural waste, or D, plastic pollution? Answers in the chat.
Okay, and Jordan Dawn, if you would like to unmute and let us know what you think it is.
I think it is option A, burning coal.
Okay, option A, burning coal. And maybe we'll take one more. Thank you so much for raising your hand so politely. How about Jaya Sharma? What do you think? Oh, maybe we're not able to unmute. Okay, we'll do one more from Arya Gupta.
I think the answer is A, burning coal.
Hey, all right, Farah, we're ready to go?
Yes, so let's find out what it actually was. It was burning coal. Did you know that actually China is the biggest
Burning coal.
contributor to burning coal? It's the biggest contributor. Okay, next question. Okay. Which one of these items can you compost? A, glossy paper, B, fruit and vegetable scraps, C, plastic, or D, styrofoam?
Do you have a compost in your home?
No, but yes, in my school there is a decomposted zone.
In his school, I have one in my home. My city actually just implemented a new program. Okay, last one. Ready, Farah?
Option B.
You're ready. Let's find out what the answer to the last question was. It was fruit and vegetable scraps.
Option
Actually,
B.
glossy paper is not good, nor plastic or styrofoam for it. Did you know that compost actually boosts plant growth? It's very cool because it has lots of nutrients. So when the plants like suck it in, they grow very fast.
Oh, thank you so much for running this trivia with us. I think everybody learned a lot. I know I learned a lot, and we're going to talk even a little bit more about some of these things. So I would like to officially welcome you all to our live from COP event. So welcome to all of our students here in person and those of us joining on YouTube. We're so happy to have you here. Before I begin, I would like to do a land acknowledgement. So the Center for Global Education is located in Amiskwachee, So this place is colonially known as Edmonton, Alberta, and it's in Treaty 6 territory. This is the traditional lands of the Cree, the Dene, the Nakota Sioux, just to name a few. So a land acknowledgement is a great way to start an event like this because it reminds us of the connection that Indigenous peoples have with the lands around the world. And that's a really great way for us to kind of start our climate actions in all of the different lands that we're joining from within Canada and in Azerbaijan and everywhere else. So before we get started, I do have a couple reminders for you. So number one, we need to make sure that we are remembering to keep ourselves muted, okay? And we are not drawing on our screen. So my friend Sarah is our tech help that is going to be in the background here. So if she sees someone's name pop up on her screen that she's drawing, unfortunately, she's going to have to boot you into the waiting room. So if you are a student that is drawing on the screen, we're going to have to kick you out into our waiting room, and you'll only be welcome to join us on YouTube. So we need to make sure we keep our pencils off the screen. Okay, as well, we need to make sure we stay muted unless we're called on. So lots of you did a really great job raising your hands during our Q&A or during our trivia. You'll get another chance to do some Q&A a little bit later. So we're really excited to have you all here. We're so happy to have you. We're happy you're excited. But we need to make sure that we are following the rules of the Zoom room so that we can hear all of the great presentations that these students have been working on. Okay, now one last thing, your teachers may have gotten this activity sheet and printed it for you. This is for some art. Now, if you don't have this activity sheet, I want you to go right now and grab a piece of paper, because during this event, we are going to get your guys' art and we are going to take a look at it on the screen. So if you have art, we're going to take a look at it on the screen and we're going to actually show it to everybody in the meeting. So on the paper, I would love for you guys to draw to me a beautiful, healthy climate. So we would like to see happy, healthy animals and plants. And then, you know, we can all share them with each other. So grab a piece of paper or work on your art for climate sheet. And yeah, we would love to see those at the end of the event. We also do have an option to upload these. We're going to get some information from Green Learning at the end to let you guys know where you can put these. Okay, now I'm going to pass my microphone over to our students from Azerbaijan to give you a welcome from their home country.
Hello everyone, my name is Sayuri and I'm 15 years old and I'm from Nepal. Today I'll be telling you a little bit about Azerbaijan. Azerbaijan is a country located in Eurasia, which means it's in both Asia and Europe. The capital of Azerbaijan, Baku, is on the Asian side, and it's the largest city in the country. Baku is also known as the City of Winds due to how windy it can get regardless of what season it is.
Hey everyone, my name's Celine. I'm from Azerbaijan and I'll tell you guys a little bit about the culture. So let's start off with our food. We have many different traditional dishes. Our national dish is called plov, which is a rice-based dish, and there are many different variations of it. I'd recommend trying it at least once. Same with kebab, which is kind of like a barbecue. It's barbecued meat, different kinds of meat like lamb chops or minced meat. And we also have some grilled vegetables that are put alongside with this dish. Then we also have kutab, which is thinly rolled dough filled with typically meat or vegetables, and on some occasions pumpkin as well. For music, the traditional type of music we have here is called the mugham, which includes a lot of improvisation and also shows different time periods of Azerbaijani history. I also included a picture of the saz instrument, which is one of our traditional instruments. Kind of sounds a bit like a ukulele or a guitar. For clothing, we have many different variations of traditional clothing, especially depending on the region and on status. We use many different bright colors in our traditional clothing and different materials and designs and patterns.
Hello, it is Sayuri again, and I'll be telling you more about Azerbaijan's architecture, more specifically the landmarks. First of all, this is the Maiden Tower. It's located in the Baku Old City, and it dates back to the 12th century. The Maiden Tower is currently a museum showcasing the history of the Baku Old City. There are many interesting legends surrounding this tower about the royal family. Next, this is the Palace of the Shirvanshahs, which is also located in the Old City. This was home to the Shirvanshah dynasty in the 1400s. It is quite a large complex and consists of mosques, caravanserais, and other buildings. Finally is the Haydar Aliyev Center, which has many different functions. It is a museum, an auditorium, and an opera house. It is located next to a park with the famous I Love Baku sign.
So I'll tell you guys a little bit like some fun facts about Azerbaijan. Azerbaijan has the nickname of the land of fire because we have many natural burning gas outlets throughout our country. I included a picture of Yanardağ, which is a place. There has been a fire burning here for several decades, I believe. The second fun fact is that Azerbaijan has the largest collection of miniature books. You can actually visit this museum in Baku's old city. Third fun fact is that Azerbaijan has many mud volcanoes, about 350 out of the 1,000 across the world. And the fourth is that we have a town on water, which is called Neftdaşları.
There you go.
Hi, my name is Jacobo. I'm from Colombia, and I'm going to tell you about what is COP29. Okay, to start, the Conference of the Parties is an important meeting where people from all over the world come together to talk about how to take care of the planet and reduce the climate change. It all started in 1992 when many countries made an event called the Earth Summit in Brazil. And in 1995, the first COP was held in Berlin, Germany. Since then, a new COP has been held every year in different countries. At these meetings, leaders from each country, scientists, and organizations discuss pollution and protect the nature and the world.
Awesome. Thank you so much. COP is a very complicated system. So to be able to explain it to you guys in a few short words was tricky, but Hako, I think you did a great job. All right, I'm going to pass the microphone over to our friends from Turkey to tell you about our program.
Hey guys, I'm Hasan from Turkey and I'm 16 years old. Hey there, so have you ever noticed how sometimes the weather feels really hot? Or maybe there's a lot more storms than usual? Well, that's because our planet is changing and it's called climate change. A climate change manifesto is like a special plan where lots of people come together and agree on what we can do to help our Earth stay healthy. It's about taking care of our air, our land, and the animals we share the world with. People want to make sure we use clean energy, take care of trees, and keep up our planet from getting too hot.
Hello everyone, my name is Alperen. I'm 16 years old and I'm from Turkey. I'll be explaining what is our climate manifesto is about. It contains government policies, education, communication, and community action. In manifesto, governments should support policies about climate change and take decisions about it with children. For education, students should be taking climate education at a young age with music and art technology. For communication, we should use social media apps like TikTok to inform people about climate change. In community action, communities should play an active role in educating adults and children with hands-on experience and be their voice. So in this plan, everyone gets to play their part, whether it's recycling, planting trees, or saving water. It's like we're all heroes trying to protect the earth for us and for future kids. Wouldn't it be amazing if everyone worked together to make our planet a better place?
Beautiful. Thank you so much, guys. So our students worked for months and months to get this manifesto together to present to world leaders here. We will share a link to it in the chat if you guys are interested in reading a little bit about what they put in there. Yeah, you can come on in. Yeah. So I would like to, before we do our next activity, quickly acknowledge our partners at ACGC who made this event possible. So Waj has been working really closely with us on a lot of different projects. I wanted to make sure that we had this space for students to share their thoughts on climate on Children's Day. So Waj, I would love for you to unmute and say a quick hello from ACGC.
Thank you, Rebecca. Hi, everyone. My name is Wejd, and I'm joining here today from Edmonton, Alberta in Canada, and really excited and happy to support this event with the Center for Global Education. We do a lot of work here with youth on issues relating to climate change and sustainable development goals. So really excited to be here today and to see everyone's participation and great ideas. So thank you so much and looking forward to the rest of the event.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. And again, thank you ACGC for making this possible. Everyone, this would not be happening without them. So we're so happy to be able to have you guys here. Before we get to our Q&A session, we wanted to do a little bit of an icebreaker so that we could practice using the chat function. So I'm going to pass the microphone over to my friend Hannah to let you know how that's going to work.
Hi, I'm Hannah. I'm 15 and I'm from Australia. And I love hiking. That's my favorite way to get out in nature. Hiking is so good for your physical health, for your mental health. I get to hang out with my friends and I also get to see some pretty cool animals like the wallaby up the top there and the koala in the middle, which
So
is really
cute.
awesome. I want to know what your favorite way to engage in nature is. And you can type that in the chat or we can raise your hand and we can have you say that out loud.
Yeah, so I think if we have 2 or 3 that raise their hand and want to share their ideas, if you raise your hand, we would love to call on you, but we've got a couple coming in.
Trekking, that's really, really cool. Going for walks, that's really awesome as well. Should we hear from people who've raised their hands?
How about, let's go with Anoj.
Yeah, so actually, my favorite thing to do in how I enjoy nature is like mostly I go for safaris. Like that's the best way I enjoy nature.
Awesome.
That's really awesome. Radio. Now in the chat, we've got some other ones. We've got going walks, hiking, boating, and traveling. Nature walks, camping's awesome. I love camping as well. Snorkeling, that's also really, really cool. So that's awesome.
How about at Luri? Did you want to share how you like to engage with nature?
Yeah, I'm Joshika, and my favorite way to explore in the nature is having a family walk with my mother and my parents.
That's really, really sweet. That's awesome. Do one more?
Yeah, let's do one more. And maybe I am seeing there's a lot of camping, a lot of hiking.
That's really, really cool. Hiking's awesome, guys. And should we hear from Tommy?
Thank you. My favorite thing to do in nature is like sort of camping, but we don't set up a tent. We just like play outside and in the forest for hours. It's really fun.
That's awesome. That sounds like loads of fun.
And I will say this is a great icebreaker because in our manifesto, the students mentioned that getting in nature and finding that love for nature is one of the best things you can do to help with climate action. So
awesome.
Yeah, and awesome to hear how much you all love nature. Thank you, sharing. Okay, we are now into our Q&A section. So I am actually going to move out of the way to make room for some child voices over here. And we have a few questions for them that we have prepared. We also would like to get your questions. So if you have a question for these students, please type it in the chat. I would love to ask your guys' questions as well. We don't just have to ask my boring questions. So I'll make some space here. Come on in, boys. Okay, so our first question is, how can kids get involved in climate?
Okay, so climate change is a very big problem that is affecting our planet, but we can help all, even you. There are many easy and fun ways to make that difference. For start, for example, you can save water when you wash your hands or turn off the lights when you don't need them. Also, you can recycle plastic, paper, and glass, or use a reusable bottle instead of buying plastic bottles. If you plant a tree or a plant, you are also helping because plants give us oxygen and take care of the air.
Okay, question number 2 is, what made you want to become involved in Decarbonize?
I would look forward to becoming involved in Decarbonize. I'm super passionate about climate change, and I was really, really excited to meet lots of other people, lots of young people my age, and to bounce ideas off each other and hear how they're impacting their communities and what they're doing with themselves to help mitigate climate change.
Hey, how about our girls from Azerbaijan? Did we have an answer for why did we join Decarbonize?
Yeah, I joined Decarbonize this week because of my love for nature and hiking. Being in forests, mountains, and all of those beautiful places made me really happy, but I started seeing pollution and other changes in these places. And I joined Decarbonize this week to help protect these really nice spots so that other people and future generations can enjoy them as well.
I joined Decarbonize because I was really interested in trying to make a change not only in our local communities here in Azerbaijan, but also globally. And also, I enjoy collaborating with like-minded people and meeting people from all across the world to help make a change.
Beautiful, thank you. And I see a question came up here in the chat from Madha Nazim. What is the role as a student to prevent climate change? So what would you say that children can do to help with climate change, or what advice would you have for them to get involved?
I guess you gotta be brave, take step and speak up, because we are the next generation and we have to prevent our climate.
Advice for students?
Don't be afraid to take any steps. You can take any small steps that you want, like recycling more often. Even that can at some point help climate change. You know, you can get your friends to do other actions as well.
I think that to start, kids can like join or create a club at school focused on the environment. This can be a place to like organize activities like tree planting, recycling drives, and like local cleanups. Kids can also spread awareness in these clubs by sharing what they learn with others as well, such as your community.
Awesome. Now I'm seeing a couple questions in the chat here about the degrees of global warming. 0.55 degrees doesn't sound like a lot of warming, or some questions about how warm is it going to get. So the students here actually did a model UN simulation where they looked at what the different temperatures of climate change will do to the planet. So any of the students here, would anybody like to share maybe something that they learned during that model simulation? What does 1 degree or 3 degrees or 4 degrees of warming look like in the future? Any of the impacts?
Well, you may think that just 0.5 degrees is barely anything, that it won't really impact our Earth. But just as Rebecca said, we learned a lot about just how big of an impact 1 degree can make. It can kill up to about, what was it, 30, maybe even 70% of coral reefs, and cause way more natural disasters and droughts. And if this continues to go up and up, it's going to get worse.
Yeah, exactly right. Thank you so much. I knew someone was paying attention during our simulation. Okay, my next question is for everyone that's taking climate action in their school. If anybody has a climate project that they've done in their school, I would love to hear about it.
I can say in our school in Turkey, we planted trees, we got some paper recycling project, and we also want to make our school carbon zero.
My school, Baku International School, has started taking steps towards implementing eco-friendly practices. We have a lot of recycling all over the school for batteries, paper, and plastic. We've also planted trees around the school to help the environment.
Okay, in my school, we have a decomposing zone. Also, we plant a tree per grade, and we take care of them like monthly.
Okay, and I think that there's a good question here in the chat from Sudharth asking, what is the primary causes of climate change?
So an increase in greenhouse gases being emitted is probably one of the biggest causes of climate change and global warming. So those increasing greenhouse gases trap heat in our atmosphere. And so that can lead to tons of other things, such as ice melting. It can lead to coral bleaching and more severe weather events.
Awesome. Okay, another, yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, another cause of climate change would be deforestation, so like cutting down trees in forests and stuff.
Totally. Awesome. Good answers, guys. Okay, my next question is, what has been your favorite part of COP29 or your visit to Azerbaijan?
I can say, actually, we can discuss our problems, and everyone is just listening and respecting our ideas, and we are discussing our ideas and we want to make sure of our problems.
I'm loving going into the green zone and the blue zone and talking to people about decarbonize and our whole program as well. I feel like as youth voices, we have a lot of power and we get a lot of attention in those kinds of areas. And I think it's been really great telling people what we're all about, how can they support us, and what we aim to do overall.
I think the best part of COP is like the breakfast because like we have in the hotel like unlimited food.
Like Hannah Rose said, oh, sorry, go on.
You go first. You go first.
All right, so like Hannah Rose said, I totally agree with what she said. That's also why I really enjoyed this opportunity. I think it's a great opportunity to meet all these people around the world in COP and try and get the idea out of what we're doing and how we can work together to try and mitigate climate change.
My favorite part of COP29 has been learning about issues that I normally wouldn't have known about. It was really interesting to hear about the different climate challenges that countries are facing and how severe like some of these problems are because the media doesn't cover half of what is happening in most of these countries.
Okay, we have time for maybe two last questions. So this one I'm seeing in the chat is coming from Jaya Sharma. How does climate change affect water cycles and precipitation patterns? Maybe one of you guys. Oh yeah, go ahead.
Sorry?
So
yeah, okay. So as we mentioned earlier, even just like 1 degree of climate change can cause droughts to occur more frequently and last much longer.
Have we seen any of that in any of our countries?
Definitely in Australia.
Yes.
Yeah. I've seen some lakes like completely dried out here in Azerbaijan. Sad.
I'd also like to add, regardless of what weather it is, climate change just makes the weather completely unpredictable. So like as the temperature goes up, you don't know like what weather it might change into. Like in some areas there are like constant droughts. In some areas there's like flooding and stuff. So it's very unpredictable.
Yeah, exactly right. That's totally right. Our last thing before we end our Q&A, does anybody have one last piece, something to inspire the students that are here today? A last piece of inspiration for the students in the room?
Don't be afraid to start. Don't just wait for change to happen. Just go for it. Take that risk because you never know how it'll turn out.
Add on to that, it could be something small that you start off with, like just planting like one plant in your garden or starting a club at school or something like that. Just start off small and you can always build towards it. And someone might see like the small thing you started and get inspired by it and start something else. So just start.
All together, we'll make the world better.
Beautiful. Oh, that's awesome. Thank you so much for all of those great questions. And thank you for your wonderful answers. I do have a couple of last things that we would like to do before we end our session. So I'm going to pass the microphone next to our friend Maria from Green Learning to let you know what you guys can do with your art pieces now that we have made some beautiful art. So Maria, go ahead.
Thanks, Rebecca. Hi, everyone. I'm so excited to be joining you guys today. So I'm in Toronto, Ontario, in Canada. But yeah, so I'm just here to talk to you guys a little bit about what we do at Green Learning. So we provide students and teachers, just like all of you, with tons and tons of resources, programs, and challenges, all that are kind of related to sustainability, the climate, energy consumption, everything that we've been talking about here today. So one of our cool programs that really tries to kind of empower youth, just like you guys, to kind of share your voices to as many people as possible, is a program called eCards. So what we do with eCards is we have you just kind of create an artwork or write something that you really believe in, that's really important to creating a positive impact on our planet, and something that you kind of want to share to as many people as you would like. So what I'll do is I'll share my screen here and show you guys some examples of e-cards that we've received in the past. Right? Everyone can see that? I'm assuming it looks like it's working. All right. So these are some e-cards we've received in the past. Students will just kind of draw a picture or write a message of something that they think is important and something that they want to share with as many people as they can. All right, so you can have just like a picture over here, or maybe you can, I don't know, maybe there's like a poem or something that's really important to you that you think really explains the kind of idea of helping our planet very well. You can do something like that. So these are just examples from previous COP events, things that students have done. So what I'd love for you guys to do is, if you haven't already, think about some ideas that are really important to you, that you think will help our planet in a positive way. Put it down on a piece of paper, and with the help of an adult around you, you'll just take a picture of that and share it on our website. And so what we'll do with that is we'll put it on our website so anybody who's visiting our site can see your message. And then we're also going to try and share your message to a politician or a business leader or somebody else in power who can hopefully try to make a change based on some of your ideas, right? So we're trying to reach as wide of an audience as possible. And you guys are already doing that here at an event like this, but we're going to try to kind of spread it a little bit more as much as we can and kind of share your ideas. So it's a pretty exciting kind of little program that you guys can do. So you guys have some ideas of examples and stuff. So I'd love if you guys could kind of put something together, put together a message or a drawing, and we can share that with tons and tons of people. Yeah.
I will say as well, our students on the ground here, this is for all ages. So we can do young students up to our high school students. The students that we have here at COP have been doing the e-cards and making art and sharing them as e-cards as they've been here, and we're going to keep doing it for the days to come. So I wanted to share a couple examples, and now is your opportunity. If you guys created some art during the event, I would love for you to hold it up to your camera and we can all take a look at some of the art. So just for my example, we have some examples of collage. So if you like cutting and pasting, that works great. This is an example of someone that used some plastic that would have gone to a landfill to make an art piece out of it instead. Of course, there's always good old-fashioned pencil crayons. Which way does this one go? This way. Okay. Or if you're maybe a little bit more of an advanced artist, you can do some digital art. So a few examples of some made from some older students. And I'm seeing some beautiful artwork on the screen here. These look so great. So Maria, maybe I'll just ask if you would be able to share the link in the chat of where they can upload these drawings, because some of these we have quite the artists in the group here. These are so wonderful. So you take a picture of them, you guys can send them in. As well, I actually have a second place where you guys can send your art. So we have two options for you. So the Center for Global Education actually runs a virtual art gallery. So it's called Art for Action, and you can find it at cgeducation.org. And actually, maybe my colleague Sarah can put the link right to the art gallery in the chat for you as well. So what we do is we actually print the art that students around the world make, and we bring it with us to COP. So our students actually set up this art display in COP for world leaders like presidents to walk by and take a look at on the ground in COP. So another great option, you can send it as an e-card, you can upload it to the Art for Action gallery. Two great ways that you can get your art out there to decision makers. Okay, and we only have a couple minutes left, so I have a couple last reminders for you. There's a quiz that we would love for you all to fill in. So this quiz is going to give us an idea of how you guys felt about the event. It's also a really fun quiz, so it's going to let you know what national park you are. So national parks, those are protected areas within countries where nature is allowed to thrive on its own. So I put the link in the chat there, or you can scan the QR code on the screen. You answer a couple questions and it will tell you what national park you are. So you might be Banff National Park from Canada. You might be one from somewhere else around the world. So we'll ask that every student here complete this quiz. If you are joining as a school or as a class, you are welcome to do it as a class. So there's an option to let us know how many students are answering. Okay, and finally, I want to say a huge thank you. Thank you again so much to ACGC for making this possible. Thank you for all of the very excited students that were able to join us and share. The chat was amazing. I just loved reading through all of the passionate messages you all shared on the chat. Now, at the end of our Decarbonize events, we always like to do something called the Decarbonize Cheer. So what we're going to do is we're going to make sure that our cameras are on. I'm going to call my friends back into the screen here. Okay. What we're going to do is we're going to count down 3, 2, 1, and then we're going to say decarbonize and raise our hands, and we're all going to do it together. So I'll give you a second to get your cameras turned on. I'm going to get out of the way so my friends can get closer to the screen. Okay, get in there, guys. That looks awesome. Okay, and maybe we'll do it a couple of times to make sure that we get it. So we're going to go 3, 2, 1.
Decarbonize. It's awesome.
Okay, should we do one more to be safe?
Yeah.
That one was a practice. We'll do one more. Okay, 3, 2, 1.
Decarbonize. Decarbonize.
Thank you so much, everyone, for joining. It was so nice to connect with you all. Good afternoon, good evening, good night, good morning. We hope you guys all get out and take some climate actions. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Rebecca. Happy Children's Day.
Bye.
Bye, Mom.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Looking forward to seeing your art. See you soon.